Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Team Eagle Zoom chat. We're thrilled that you've joined us, whether you are with us live or listening and watching this recording. As most of you know, we are Mick and Jenny Daly, National Marketing Directors in your support line. And we also have a very distinguished guest on our call tonight. I see that Kurt Beavers has joined us. So welcome, Kurt. But I tell you, tonight is not all about you for a change. We're thrilled that you're here, because tonight we are going to hear from a very special young lady by the name of Hope Beavers. And it seemed very appropriate that Hope should be introduced by another very special young lady on our team, Brianna Crenwelge. Now, we've known Brianna and her family for, oh my gosh, it has to be more than 20 years, because it was when we lived back there in Dallas. And just like Hope, Brianna is part of a mother and father Juice Plus team. She actually recently passed up the opportunity of a career in pharmaceutical sales in order to focus on building her Juice Plus business. She is a sales coordinator with a growing team, and she's well on her way to senior sales coordinator too. So, Brianna, I am going to turn it over to you to introduce Hope.
Yes, it's nice to see everybody. I know some of y'all I know. So quick little intro. I'm in Waco. Jenny did a good job introducing me. Yes, I went to A&M, got involved with the business there. My family's been involved with it since I was 4. So similar to Hope, where I'm a Juice Plus baby and I've been around it and definitely have a good support system with my parents and my family. But I do want to talk about Hope has similarities with me. She's a little younger. She's 21. She's born and raised in Atlanta. As Jenny said, you'll recognize her parents, Kurt and Lori. They're actually Mick and Jenny sponsors. They're our upline with Team Eagles. And they've been in the business like us for 25 to 30 years. She's now attending Georgia College and State University, and she's studying mass communication, PR, and advertising. So good choice with this with Juice Plus. But most recently in Anaheim, she was promoted to senior sales and got to walk that stage. So congrats on that, Hope. I hope I'm there next conference at least. But if you want to take over from here, I'm going to let you start with your story on how turning from a Juice Plus baby to now where you've gone from there.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so like Brianna just said, my parents have been in the business for 30 years, so I grew up immersed in Juice Plus. I was in my mom's belly at conferences and everything like that. I think I was a walking billboard for Juice Plus, wearing shirts and hats and every apparel I could get on my body. So I've just known about it since forever. But I came at one point where I was just so tired of hearing Juice Plus, Juice Plus, Juice Plus that I was very turned off to it. Believe it or not, I actually stopped taking the product for a while. I couldn't take pills. My parents would give me gummies every day, and I would throw them away in the trash can at school. And so they thought I was taking it, and I wasn't, and I was sick for every season of the year. I had strep throat at least 3 times a year, a cold all the time, and I just thought that was normal. And so it came when I was in college, and I got sick for the first time away from home, and I absolutely hated not having my mom and dad there to, bring me soup or just comfort me. And I was like, okay, I'm never not taking my Juice Plus again. So since my freshman year of college, I've never missed a day taking it. And I've definitely seen the changes in my own life because of that. But when I was around 18, my parents were like, you can do the business. And I was like, no, you couldn't pay me to do Juice Plus. So I was very turned off by it for a while. And, then, one thing just happened, and I'll talk about that later in my story, but something just clicked, and I was like, okay, maybe this is something that I can see myself doing. I knew a lot about it since I had grown up, totally immersed in it, like I mentioned before. So I'll let my story kind of unfold later in a bit.
Okay, perfect. So I know that you said you were turned off. So what was that deciding factor? What made you decide to turn back into the business, especially being a busy college student?
Yeah. So, being in college, it's all about kind of managing your time well. In my first year, I didn't want to do the business because I was still trying to figure out life away from home and school and grades, and I'm in a sorority and everything like that. And so my sophomore year of college, I went to the Nashville conference, And I just went because Nashville seemed like a fun city to go visit, and I had no intentions of going because of Juice Plus. But I went and I saw a panel up on stage of a bunch of Juice Plus kids whose mom or dad were in the business as well. And so I related a lot to that because that was, my story. My parents have been in the business forever, very successful, and everyone kind of, loves to hear from them and look up to them. And so it was really good to see that and see, okay, well, their kids are super successful at it too, and they're all very young, so maybe I can do it. So I leaned over to my mom while that panel was happening, and I was like, I'm going to be in an MD one day. And she was like, okay, because I had never said that before, kind of showed interest. So that's kind of where my interest sparked. And from there, like you just said, a busy college student, and I was always on the go and kind of trying to manage my time and figure out life along the way. And came back from conference super excited, kind of died down after that, just because I didn't really know exactly what I was getting myself into or how to do everything properly. But later on I had seen, I've heard NMD speeches and seen people's stories of so many young, successful people in the business that were my age, a little older. And I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. And so that's kind of how I decided that I wanted to fit this into my schedule and make it a priority.
Okay. So what did your college friends, so your age group, what did they think about that when you first came back? How did they feel about that versus how do they feel about it now?
Right. So that was hard. Just kind of, I didn't ever want to sell something. And so, I was like, how do I approach this without acting like a salesperson? And it, Juice Plus eventually became to be a good passion of mine and something where I started to love just seeing how the product had changed my own life and how the business had, created such an awesome life for my family. And so it just became something I was very passionate about. And when I'm passionate about something, I love sharing it with people. And so I kind of, once I got excited about it, I wanted to tell everybody, and that kind of turned some people off at first, and they're like, what are you even doing? Like, I don't understand that. So a lot of college friends, made fun of me, were like, oh my gosh, I will never do that. I don't care. I'm healthy now. Like, I don't need that. And I was like, okay. So it kind of shook me, and I was like, I've never done something where my friends don't support me. And it was hard at first. And then nowadays, my friends see me being very successful, and that I don't do what they would ever want to do, but they, see that I'm very passionate about what I'm doing and I love it, and that I'm very successful at it and creating an awesome life for myself while being a college student. So all of them aren't on board. And that's something, that's okay for all of you millennials that are watching or going to watch this. All of your friends are probably not going to be on board at first. And that's hard. But, it's a part of life. Everyone's not going to love what you do. But I've just learned to surround myself with people who do love what I do and push me further and encourage me. And that's why I love, our Juice Plus family, because it's a bunch of people that are there to build you up, even if they aren't, don't know you very well or whatever that may be. So I've definitely loved digging deep in our Juice Plus family so people can build me up that way.
Yeah. Now, I know your parents are probably like mine, where they definitely want to help with everything possible. So talk a little bit about how you used them and sometimes didn't use them, or you'd use other team. How did you kind of balance that between family and work?
Yeah. So that relationship was kind of hard to define at first, where I would text my dad about work stuff and then he wouldn't reply, but I'd text him about getting air in my tire and he would reply. And I was like, I want you to help me with my business too. And stuff like that. And it was kind of hard to figure out a balance of a father-daughter, mother-daughter relationship and being business partners together. But one thing I have loved is it's made my relationship with my parents so much stronger because we talk every day, all day. And so it's been so fun. But at first, it was hard. And my dad's a super busy person. He helps and reaches down very far in his downlines on his team. So he's pouring into a lot of people's lives. And I nagged him a lot at first, being like, oh my gosh, how do I get a customer? What do I need for the next promotion? And I just kept asking him all these questions, probably 1,000,000 times before I ever understood it. I asked him the same things. So Dad, thanks for holding on with me. But, at first I was super annoying to him, and he was like, okay, I know you need me, but I also have to help 1,000,000 people too. And I was like, okay. So I kind of started to realize that, and I've, he's helped me a lot to get to where I am today, but I've also learned to grow on my own and use awesome resources like our virtual office and the mission-driven model and everything like that, and reaching out to so many other people that are a part of the Juice Plus community that aren't even affected by my paycheck, but love getting to help other people. And so I love getting to return that favor as well to others.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you've made the first couple promotions, so let's talk about each of them individually. Like, what was the hardest or easiest part of finding those first 2 customers for the HLP?
Yeah, so that was very hard. I came back from Nashville conference, like I mentioned before, and I was very on fire and I wanted to do this, but I didn't know how. So like I said, I nagged my dad a million times, and I was like, what do I do? How do I form a question or like a message to somebody? And what do I say first? And, he was like, just chill, like just talk and tell people what Juice Plus is. And so I was like, okay. And so I kind of made the mistake of just typing a little scenario out and describing what Juice Plus is, 30 fruits and vegetables, berries in a capsule. I love it. You should love it too, kind of thing. I copied and pasted it, sent it to 1 million people, and that came to bite me in the butt later because I realized that wasn't personal at all, and it wasn't, detailed to every person I was talking to. It was very surface level. And so I think that turned some people off at first. And so that's why I think my first 2 promotions were harder than normal because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just excited and I wanted to do something. So I was just talking to people. And so, my dad did help me a lot, though, with getting to HLP and to VF, just going along the way and being like, here's a great video you can send somebody, because I didn't know all the verbiage. So I used a lot of stuff to help me with my lack of knowledge, I guess I should say. And then my dad helped me, if I ever had a prospect in line that was interested in the business, to just kind of tell them his story and how he's been so successful with it. So that kind of got me through my first 2 promotions. So next I would be qualifying your business. And I just heard my dad say that over and over again, whether it was to me or other people while he was on the phone and I was in the car or something. And I was like, okay, I guess that's an important thing. I should probably do that. And so around then I had been in the business a good bit, and I kind of understood how I should talk to people and communicate. And so I just reached out to a bunch more people and messaged a ton of people, called people, texted people, found what was working and what wasn't working. And, it really was, I believe life is all about relationships. So I wanted to maintain the relationships I had, and that was kind of hard doing the business too, because you didn't want people to just be turned off by you and be like, no, I don't want you to talk to me. I don't want you to sell me something. And so I kind of just try to be really personal with people and reach out to them and how the product could specifically affect their life positively. So that's what I did. I got a lot of no's, but it made the yeses even more worth it. And so I think that's important for a lot of people to realize is you're going to get a lot of no's. And unfortunately, I let that get me down at first. After, Nashville, I was talking about, I was super excited and I heard a lot of no's. And that's when I was like, this is not for me. I will not do this. And, then again, the next conference in Phoenix, I kind of got another second wind of my passion that started, in Nashville and how I actually wanted to do this. And so, but I think the no's really got down on me. And I think that's something for a lot of people to realize is you're going to get no's, but it makes the yeses even more worth it. So that was kind of qualifying my business, that step. So next would be sales coordinator. And I had been actively doing my business for about 5 months when I got sales coordinator. So I was super excited about that. And it all started with finding a buddy. Jay Martin, the president of the company, always says it's important to find your buddy. And I found the business very hard at first, and I didn't have someone that was with me and willing to do this alongside of me. And I was, of course my parents were, but I was at college and I didn't have like a good friend that was doing it. So I found my buddy, and she became a rock star member on my team, and she made sales coordinator the month after me. And so she was really on fire, and that kind of helped motivate me. So that's kind of how I got that promotion. And then shortly after, I signed up my cousin, and she was just super excited and doing so well. And so I think it all kind of started there with just getting people that were very excited and passionate on my team, because that made me even more excited and passionate. And it made me working and talking with them so much more fun. It doesn't even seem like a job anymore because I love what I do so much. So I was kind of sales coordinator. From there, I really decided that I wanted to grow my business, and my dad kept saying that if you want to be very successful, you need to use your social media and utilize that. So that's kind of when I was like, okay, I guess that, it doesn't take as much time if I just share a post for a bunch of people to see rather than me messaging people specifically, because that became exhausting over time, talking to people over and over again, having the same conversation. And so at first I was, I had that I'm too cool factor thing where I was like, you will never catch me posting something about Juice Plus on one of my social media sites. Lo and behold, now go on my social media sites and you'll see a bunch of stuff about, inspiring people to live healthy. And I love posting pictures of my smoothies and making pretty smoothie bowls or energy bites or anything that has to do with the product, pancakes, anything like that, that gets people intrigued. I love posting about anything that like helps people with like inspiring workouts or any tips like that. And so that's kind of how I got a lot of people interested in joining me as a customer. And then I started to post a lot about just being in the business as well. And so I remember one time right after I got sales coordinator, I made a post. It was a picture of my computer on my bed, just kind of showing the comfort of working from home. And I just talked about how I worked very part-time and got to make a paycheck with a comma in it and how exciting that was for me. And so things like that got people very interested in what I was doing as far as the business. And so people wanted to join me and get on board with that. So that's kind of how my journey towards senior sales coordinator started, just exposure on social media. And I think that's so huge nowadays, especially if you're a millennial and doing the business, because that's where all of your friends are. People spend so much time on social media. And so I think it's important to kind of spend your time there as well. And so I like to look at like analytics too. That's kind of what I study is PR and social media. So I love seeing, when young people our age are using certain social media platforms, and I like to post during that time because that's when they're on there. So things like that have just helped me with my business a lot as far as senior sales coordinator. And just being consistent too and managing my month well. As a college student, I have learned very well how to procrastinate for school. You find out the first day of school, everything you have to do for the whole semester, but I won't study for a test until the night before. And so I'm a very good procrastinator. And at first I did that a lot with my business. And I've just learned how to manage my month well and be consistent throughout the whole month so you're not cramming and killing yourself at the end of the month. So that's kind of steps I've learned along the way throughout every phase of the business.
Yeah. So what do you think is going to change? I know you've only got 2 more steps and you'll be that NMD that you told your mom you would be. So what kind of things do you think you're going to have to change, or what things do you think you'll plan-wise you're going to do for the next 2 steps?
Yeah. So I definitely want to remain consistent. I don't want to slow down. I don't want to stop. I want to keep my energy going and, even more so ahead of time than it has been in the past. And I want to keep my passion and fire. And I definitely want to utilize social media even more than I do now. I want to use Facebook Live videos more. We were talking about that before we got on our call here, just because it's a fun way for people to always see what you're doing and keeping up with your life. So I definitely want to utilize that more. And I'm excited about our new Brave Leaders program we have that the company has so generously started for us to get the leaders, up-and-coming leaders in our company involved with as a great way to, grow yourself personally. And so I'm very excited to go through that program just to learn how to be a very successful leader and grow myself so that I can be an efficient leader for my team. And I'm going through another personal growth thing this summer as well. And so I'm just excited to see how all of this will be, creating a great leader in myself to be an efficient leader for my team. So that's kind of, I guess, my goal plan for NMD. I don't know. We'll see along the way. I'll make it to Q, and then from there I'll figure out for NMD. But I'm excited. I want it, and I think that's just where it all comes down to is your want and your desire for something. And if you have a goal set, you're going to make it happen. And I'm just a very driven person. So I remember working towards senior sales coordinator. I put a sticky note on my mirror, and I said SSC by Anaheim on it. I looked at it every single day, every morning. I brushed my teeth, whatever I did. And I saw it every morning. And so I think it's important to write your goals down and see them visually, so that way you're always working towards it every single day. So I need to write a new one, but now I need to write QNMD and work towards that every day, and then NMD. So that'll be next steps, and I'm excited to see, my journey there.
Yeah. Now, tell me first when you're graduating, but then what are the plans kind of like for after that? Are you hoping to continue? Where are you thinking about going after graduation?
Yeah, so I graduate next May in 2018, and I'll have my Bachelor's of Arts in Mass Communication, studying PR and advertising, which has just worked out really well with Juice Plus, because I've studied a lot about how to, communicate to a large group of people and how to use social media well and everything like that. So I didn't even plan on, studying that and then doing the business, but it's just collided so well, which has been awesome. And after college, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure it out, hopefully soon. But I think I'm just, I want to leave it up to God and just pray and figure out, what his steps are ahead of me and what he's already planned for my life, and kind of go down the path that he has marked for me. And I'm excited to kind of just see where life takes me. I definitely want to do Juice Plus full time. I don't know if I'm going to immerse myself in that fully right out of college or what. I kind of want to use my degree for something. I know I do with the Juice Plus business, but I feel like I should have a normal job for at least a year. So we'll see. I might work for a PR firm or something for a year or two, just because I think that's a great way to build your networking. And that's an awesome way to be successful at our business, is just meet so many new people and, get to tell people about your story and what you love and what you're passionate about. And so I kind of want to do that and then retire myself from corporate America by 2 years and do Juice Plus full time, and just get to travel and, do the awesome things that this business allows you to do, to dream big and go wherever you want to go in life. And I just think that's so fun and exciting. Is like, I don't really have any plans, because I can do whatever I want and just go with the flow. Getting to work from my computer and phone is just so awesome. So that's kind of my future ahead of me. I haven't really planned it too much, but.
Well, hey, that's nice. I mean, most people are stuck. They have to go get that job. They don't have another choice. So it's nice that you have that opportunity, even over the next year, to offer that to other people that you know as well.
Right.
Okay, so last thing I'm going to ask, what advice would you give if you have like one or two things you could give to anybody in our generation specifically?
Yeah. One of my big things or sayings I like to think about is do what you love and believe in. You've heard me say the word passion, so like what I'm passionate about several times on this call. And I think it's so true to just follow what you're passionate about in life. Find something you love and go after it. If you asked me 3 years ago, I wouldn't have said I'm passionate about health or helping people be healthy at all. And here I am today, where that's one of the main things my whole life, revolves around. And I think that's so cool that I get to do what I love and I get paid for it, because I would do it without even getting paid for it. So it's just so fun. I would say to dream big, never settle, because you're made for so much more. And I think, this business can allow you to dream big, to not have to have a 9-to-5 job, to travel the world, to raise a family wherever you want to, in Hawaii and Tokyo, I don't know, to send your kids like one day to college and, debt free, whatever your dream is, you get to dream so big with this company. And that is so cool and so exciting, is, you're not tied down to anything. So I would say that's a huge thing for our generation. And just to never like let what people say like affect you, like we were talking about earlier, your college friends, what they think about me and stuff like that. Some people will always find a reason to not like what you're doing, but I just think it's important to stay true to who you are and do what you love, and you'll be successful in life no matter what. And I would say, as far as the business, if I'm going to give a piece of advice, it would be to utilize social media more than you think you should or would, because you'll be amazed at how much it'll impact your business. I wouldn't have a business today without social media. I honestly can say that. Nowadays, posting so much and just being constant and consistent on social media has given me a way to just kind of chill and let people come to me about, what they're seeing and what they want to know. And the Shred 10 has been awesome for me as well for social media, just to post about a great program for people to learn to get on track and be healthy and stuff like that. So just find something you love and do it and live fully and enjoy life. Those are my little tidbits of advice.
All right. Now, I know we have a few minutes, so Jenny's kind of helping us keep track of time as well. But does anybody have any questions? It's kind of our time to open it up that Hope can answer any questions you'll have.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you a question, Hesh. You mentioned earlier about... Is someone else talking? Can I go yet? I just wanted to know when you decided that you should post, the particular timing that you post on Facebook. You said there was a particular timing?
Yeah. So, I don't know if we want to mute. Someone's child is talking. Okay. So as timing wise, you know, if you go on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, there's sites that will break down analytics of certain people groups or whatever you're kind of looking for. And I've actually done so much of that with school. I just wrote a 60-page paper doing focus groups about certain social media sites and stuff like that. So I just know a lot about that. But you know, specifically we were talking about college-age students in my study that I just recently did. And we learned that most people use, first of all, the 3 platforms that most people use are Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat is bigger than Twitter nowadays.
Snapchat.
And most people are using those platforms between 5 p.m. and later in the night, so like maybe like 11 p.m. or something. So kind of after work, dinner, after that kind of time is when most people are using those sites. That could be different for other parts of the world or whatever, but for my study we did in Georgia, that was kind of what we found, that most people were using sites. So I hope that was helpful.
Great, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Hope, what do you do? Are you following up with some of those people, or you just wait for them to call you?
Following up with what people?
The ones that comment or...
Oh, yeah. So I love, like I just said, you know, earlier is like, at first I was using so much energy and effort to communicate with people all of the time. And I've got to the point now where I'm so consistent on my social media feed that people are usually coming and contacting me, which has been awesome because it's taken a load off my shoulders. And I do love to follow up with those people. And, you know, I try to stay consistent on top of stuff. If someone isn't replying, I'm like, give them a day or two. And I'm like, what do you think? You know, when's a good time to catch you? Something like that. I think follow-up is very important. And not even people that just message me, but people that comment on my pictures, whether they're just like a thumbs up or whatever it is. I love just reaching out to them and being like, I saw that you were interested in that post, you know, you maybe want to talk about living a healthier lifestyle or anything like that. So I think it's important to create engagement on your social media sites and not just post for people to see, but post things that are intriguing and will get people engaged to what you're doing so that you can talk to them and create conversations. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome.
Perfect.
Anybody else got any more questions?
Do you have a separate page, a commercial page, or do you work just with your own private page?
Yeah, so I just use my private page. I use Facebook more than Instagram. So on Facebook, you know, you have to be my friend to see my stuff. Over on Instagram, my Instagram page is public, so you can just kind of see it without even following me. But I think about a week ago, I created just another page on Facebook and on Instagram. It's just called Health Made Simple. And I just post on there links to workout videos. I'll post, the other day I posted a picture of kale and the health benefits of eating kale and how it's, you know, high in vitamin A and E or whatever it is, and it's high in fiber and has no fat and everything like that. So I'll post little healthy tips like that. And, you know, I'll post recipes for smoothies that include Juice Plus so people can see that and then hopefully message me and be like, what is this Juice Plus that you're putting in your smoothies? So things like that. But that's been a recent thing. So I can't really tell you yet if it's going to be super successful for me. However, if you're interested in that, I'll definitely keep you up with if it's been beneficial or not. So
I'm intrigued. Why did you wait so long to do that, Hope?
I don't know. I just hadn't crossed my mind to do it earlier. And I was like, I guess I'll just post on my normal page. And then I kind of got tired. I was like, some people probably don't like seeing, every health thing I have to share. So I was like, I'll create a personal page and invite a lot of my friends to like it. So that way they're seeing my post. And if they don't want to see it, then they can unlike it. It just kind of, I didn't do it originally, I think, because I didn't want to keep up with so many different platforms and I didn't want the stress of all of it. But nowadays, I'm kind of have my game face on and I want to work hard at this business and I want to be super successful at it. And so I just kind of wanted to try something new to see if it would work, because I'm working on my next step now towards Q. So I'm going to try new things and see what works and see what doesn't. So I can keep you all updated, but we'll see how it goes. Anybody else have any more questions?
Actually, I have one more. Oh, Michelle, were you about to ask something? Okay, I'll ask it. Do you seem to have better results with in-home parties, like in person, or live parties through social media?
Okay, funny thing, I have actually never done an event for myself. I know that's crazy because if you talk to anybody, they will say events. And I know that that's super important and super successful. I just have never, gotten on that event train. I have done one event for one of my downline, or someone in my downline. She had an event at a wine bar in Atlanta, and I just went and I spoke for like 2 seconds. And so that's the only thing I've done, and I know that's crazy. I think it's just, I go to a very small school in the middle of nowhere, and so there's not really, first of all, a good place to do events. I live like in a very small house that my family room holds like 6 people. So it's like just not ideal to do an event there, and there's not really a good venue too. And so that's kind of why I haven't done events. I haven't done a Facebook Live or like anything on, virtually either. So I'm not going to ask about that. But I hope to one day do like some sort of Facebook Live event, hopefully down the road soon, and I will get back to you on my answer on that.
Have you done a Zoom event, Hope?
Huh?
Have you done a Zoom event?
I've done like calls from my team before, but I've never done like an event on Zoom.
Wow.
Yeah. But don't take it.
We're the first ones.
Are important, so y'all should do them. I just have not.
All of your events were those one-on-one conversations that you were having tons of.
Right. Michelle, did you have a question? I know I saw your name pop up earlier.
Okay, well, we are at just a little over 30 minutes, so this is quite incredible. That I don't have a question, but I do have an observation that's made me realize that, in fact, Hope, your dad wasn't much older than you when he first started this business.
Right.
Yeah, my parents were either 22 and 23 or 23 and 24.
Absolutely. And you know what's so interesting? That's a long time ago. A lot has changed over the years, and yet principles still remain the same. And I can identify with so much of what you're saying, for things like the importance of follow-up and keeping this business fun. It's just that with your generation now, you are using literally a different media to get out there and reach people. So it's certainly exciting times. Well, I have to tell you, Hope, you are a total inspiration to not only me, but I'm sure to everybody who's been listening to you on the call. Congratulations again on Senior Sales Coordinator. We're all going to be following you with interest. And I know that QNMD is not far, just around the corner. So again, Brianna, thank you so much for hosting this as well. You did an awesome job.
Great job.
And thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week, and we wish you a good night.
And thank you, Kurt and Laurie, for birthing this wonderful young woman.
She's amazing.
She absolutely is. We're all very proud of
Good
you.
night, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks a mil, Herb.
Good job, Hope.
Thank you.